Hi guys, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the session on MAH CET last lap. So guys, we are doing these last lap sessions as an overall revision of the topics that we have conducted or rather taken before. So a lot of these topics have already been done for you. So today is just a revision. It's a last lap, as you know, the last leg. We have about 15 days, 23rd, 24th, 25th is the exam for MAH CET. It's on 3 days. I believe that if you can spend the last, today is what, 4th? So we have about 19 days or so. So if you can spend the next 18, 19 days, at least about 15 minutes a day is enough on this abstract reasoning. The 25 questions that are going to come to you in MAH CET from abstract reasoning, you can crack it. We have made sure that over the so many sessions that we have taken, there is no logic that has been left uncovered. We have made questions which use different forms of logic, different types of logic, different ways. So in fact, there are so many questions that we have done that the questions started getting repeated. In fact, some of you have already pointed out. But yeah, well, that's what we have done. And today we are going to wrap up this particular portion of abstract reasoning, at least in fact, not wrap up entirely, abstract reasoning, some parts of it we're going to wrap up. But before we go ahead and wrap it up, first let's understand what are all the topics that are coming under abstract reasoning. Good evening to all of you. A lot of you have wished me a very good evening, and a very good evening to all of my students. Okay, so I already mentioned there are going to be 25 abstract reasoning questions you can expect. Now, what are the topics that come under abstract reasoning? I'll give you a list. There are about 10 topics that will come under abstract reasoning, and you have to ensure that you are familiar with all of them. We have taken enough sessions on all these topics. So if you are not sure about these topics, go back to any of our videos, go through them, you will understand what the topic is all about. As a practice, as I said, practice around 20 to 30 questions per day. More than that is not enough. 15 days, 18 days, if you're doing it like this, easily you're looking at 400 questions approximately to solve. 350 to 400 questions you're going to solve. That is enough, more than enough. Okay. But what are the topics? Okay, so there's a set of about 10 topics that you have to get yourself familiar with. So what are these 10 topics? So let's take a look at the topics. The first one is series. Okay, a little about series. I will explain a little bit about series. You already know what a series is. A series of numbers, a series of alphabets, you already know. This is basically visual reasoning where the series is about some kind of images, pictures. So there's a logic connecting image 1 to image 2, image 3, image 4, and then there'll be a question mark. So you have to understand what is the logic connecting 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then the question mark. And of course, you'll have options. You'll have to select the right option. That is called as series-based questions. I'm sure you all know about this. The second type of question is analogy. Analogy is again quite straightforward. You will have figure 1, and you will be given as, I don't know whether you call it semicolon, colon, jo bhi hai, whatever it is. They will be having 2 dots, and you will be having as figure 2. So there is some logic in which these two are related. Then you will be given 2 semicolons like this and a figure 3. Then this will be a question mark. By the way, I'm sure many of you know these basics, but please bear with me guys. There are a lot of others who are attending these sessions for the first time. So for their benefit, I'm going to just explain what each type of question is a little bit. Okay, so please don't say we already know this. I know you guys know this because you've been attending a lot of my sessions. But yeah, have a little bit of patience. We will quickly go into the question solving. Okay, right. So analogy is, so these two are linked in a particular way. Now the question is, this figure is given. How is this linked to the, or what should be the question mark such that the linkage is similar? And of course, again, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. You have to pick the right option. That is called as analogy. Then the third is odd one out. Basically, odd one out questions. You will have a set of 5 figures, figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 of them are linked in some way. 4 of them are linked in some way. 1 of them is not linked in the same way. There will be something slightly different in that one of the 5. Which is it? You need to figure out. That is basically called as odd one. Next one is pattern completion. Basically, pattern completion and series are kind of similar in nature, but pattern completion is they will give you, let's say, okay, so if I draw a flower, okay, and I cut this portion out, okay, I'm cutting it out, this is not there. So this basically they'll give you this much. This is cut out and this will continue from here. And the options, there will be 4 options or 5 options where this cutout portion will be mentioned in different formats. You will have to pick out which, if you perfectly fit in, or rather if you put it here, will perfectly fit. Which, it's like, you know, jigsaw puzzle, think of it that way. So one portion is taken out, which of these 5, if you put in, will exactly fit it. So that's the kind of question which is basically pattern completion. So that's another type of figure. Then we have embedded figures. This is actually interesting. You will have, let's say I give you a figure like this, where there is a circle. Let's say I have this thing, I have an X in this, I have a Y in this, and then I basically, and this is one figure, then I have another figure like this. I'm just giving you, I don't want to draw too many things, I'll just draw 1 or 2 and explain. And then that's it. So if I say this is figure A and figure B, the simple idea of the question is which of the following figures has this? So these are options. A, B, C, D will be options. This will be given to you. This will be given to you. Let's say. Now if I ask you which of the 2 figures contain this, clearly you can see that B does not contain, A will contain. So you can see this is circle. Then you have a line, then you have this part, and this. So you have to search for what is being given in the 5 options. One of the figures will have the correct part that you're looking at. That is basically called as embedding. So such kind of a question is called as embedded figures. And the next type is counting figures. Counting figures again tricky hai. You have to be careful. Counting. So these 4 are kind of easy. Embedded figures are also easy, but you have to be careful, but easy. Counting is careful and tricky also. For example, if I draw this, and if I ask you, let's say I put this, and if I ask you how many triangles are there, it's not direct. You can't say how many triangles are there just by looking at it. You have to carefully count. Triangle 1, triangle 2, triangle 3, triangle 4, triangle 5, triangle 6, triangle 7. Not done. Then there will be a combination of 2 triangles. Triangle 8. Like this, you have to look at all possible triangles. So that is where the problem comes in. So typically, if you're looking at counting of figures, be careful because the options will be like this. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, even if you miss one triangle, you'll be getting the wrong answer. So this is where the counting of figures. So if I were in your position, and of course I'll be writing MAH CET anyway. So if I'm writing that exam, I know I am not really careful about counting figures because that's my personality. I know I'll always miss 1 or 2 counting. So if I have to take a judgment in my MAH CET exam where I have less time and more questions to solve, I'll probably not go for counting figures because that is my weak area. So in that same way, figure out what are your weak areas. Don't focus on them right now. So don't sit with the weak areas in the exam. Save time. Okay. Yes, Priya, counting figures might come. They have come in the past. Okay. Then if you are looking at, continuing with the other topics, paper folding and cutting, mirror images, water images, and cubes and dices. These are the other 4 questions. So what are these paper foldings and cutting? So the question talks about there is a paper, I'm folding it like this. So in the half I'm folding it. Then I will take this kind of, then it will become like this. Then I'm folding it like this. Now after folding it, I will be getting this. So okay, I'll have to mention, okay, you guys can't see when I write it. I'm blocking myself. So let's go ahead. So this will give me a figure like this. Now, if I make a cut like this, and half a circle, then I open it. How will my figure look like? Such kind of a question is called as paper folding and cutting. You fold the paper in different ways, make a cut, then open it back. What will happen? Mirror images basically is if you have an alphabet or an image, you put a mirror, how will the image look like? That's basically a mirror image. Water image is the same thing but as a water. So there's a subtle difference between mirror image and water image which will be covered when the topic comes up. And of course you have a topic called cubes and dices. When you have a die, a proper cuboid cube, it's a die. So it has 6 faces. So you can have the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on and so forth. So question based on that. Or this is basically a die based question. Or you can have a cube. So if I take a cube, I cut it into smaller pieces. How many faces are there? What will be the total surface area? Or how many pieces can I make given some dimensions? So those kind of questions. So these are the kind of questions that come under cubes and dices. So today we're going to look at these areas. So today we're going to look at series, analogies, odd one out. So we're going to look at these 3. The others will also be there. In fact, there is a session on 14th of August and there is a session on 18th of August. So the remaining topics, so if we cover these 3 today, the remaining 7 we are breaking it up into 3 plus 4 in the other 2 topics. So 3 more topics will be covered on 14th and probably the remaining 4 will be covered on 18th. So that's the plan, and we are going to wrap up this entire analogy, figure based questions in these 3 sessions. So today we are going to wrap up these 3. Clear? Dheeraj is asking, sir, you live in Bangalore, right? Yes, Dheeraj, I live in Bangalore. Sri Vishnu is saying, BYJU'S office is only in Bangalore. But that is not necessary that I have to stay in Bangalore because of that. But yes, I am in Bangalore. A lot of my colleagues, other faculty members are taking sessions. You would have attended a lot of sessions of Saral sir and Gaurav Gupta sir and all of them. They are not in Bangalore. They are in different parts of the country. Okay? Yes, Nayan, counting figure is a bit disturbing. So please make sure, counting figure is very tricky. Many students miss 1 or 2 things and they get a wrong answer. So please be very careful on this. Okay. Stebin Nadar, does cube and dices come often in exam? Cubes, dices might, cubes not that much, but yes. Okay, so let's go ahead. Yes, I am writing Dheeraj CET in Bangalore. I don't remember seeing my center yet. I haven't downloaded my, the admit card yet, so I will do that. I don't know where my center is yet. Okay, so we are starting off with series. I already explained a lot of theory about series, so all this theory I don't think you'll be requiring because I've already explained all of them. So let's go ahead with the first question. Okay, before we go ahead to the first question, guys, keep in mind these are at the level of MAH CET. I'm not giving you very difficult questions. Some of them might be difficult, but many of them are very straightforward. 15-20 seconds you should be getting the answer. As I keep saying in my sessions, 15-20 seconds, one question should be solved. Okay, these are very easy questions today. Okay, so please go ahead and give me the first answer. First question, straightforward, 15-20 seconds. Let's see how many of you can give me the correct answer. Okay, so that's your 20-25 seconds up. Now I'm getting a lot of answers. Very good, guys. All of you have got the correct answer. Very good, Pragya. You've got the correct answer. Pragya, CET is definitely a lot more easier than CAT. It is not difficult than CAT. CET is much more easier than CAT. Okay, CAT is 3 levels, probably 2-3 levels difficult than CET. Okay. Okay. So what is happening here? Firstly, these two are getting interchanged, right? So this is coming here and this is coming here, and here these two are getting interchanged. That's how you will get your second figure. And now up and down are getting interchanged. So Y is going up, A is coming down. Similarly, the star is coming down, P is going up. So up and vertical. So horizontal is done, vertical is done. Now what turn will come up? Again it will be the repetition of horizontal and vertical. So these two should now be interchanged, which means P will be here, Y will be here, and these two should be interchanged, which means star will be here and A will be here. So P, Y, A star, this is the answer. So the answer is option C. Yes, Jai, this is the level of CET. It is easy. It is not difficult. CET is easy, guys. Please keep in mind. Yeah, of course. Even in this, I can make difficult questions, but I don't think it's going to be very difficult. But yes, mirror images, water images, cubes and dices, pattern recognition, the other topics could end up being difficult. Embedded figures, counting figures, they can be difficult. These are not going to be very difficult. These figure-based questions, pattern, series-based questions, analogies, as well as odd one out will not be very difficult. They will be kind of easy. Okay, please keep that in mind. But yeah, the other ones, dices and cubes will come, Durgesh. Okay, but dices are there. It's a part. It's a part and parcel of the sessions that I mentioned. Exactly, Hemant. Sorry, Nirav. It is CET is easy but lengthy. That is why picking of questions matter. That's why I keep saying, don't go for questions like counting because it will take time. There will be easier questions in pattern recognition slightly or easier questions in series. So this is easier. Again, very simple. So this is get me an answer in 10-15 seconds. The very same logic, nothing different. Some of you are new, so I think we have put up 1 or 2 questions which are same logic that have been used, but yeah, it's the same. Quick answer, yes, very good. 2 of you already got, very simple. So this is just warm up, okay? So correct answer is option D, very good. So what is happening here? These 2 are getting interchanged and these 2 are getting interchanged. That is how you got this. Then these 2 got interchanged and these 2 got interchanged. That is how you got this. Now the next thing is, again these 2 should get interchanged and these 2 should get interchanged. So cross, circle, triangle and square. So the correct answer is option D. Yeah, it's very easy. I mean, this is like 10-15 seconds. Okay, look at this. This question. Again, this is not very difficult. Identify the pattern here. Probably 30 seconds. Guys, the question has changed. Okay, one request. Please put question number and answer option when you're giving me. So please put question 3 and let's say option C. Like this. It will be easy for me to understand which question you're referring to. Yes, Shubham, that is the way in which you put the answers, but let me see how many of you get the correct answer. Okay, lot of answers. Let us see what is the correct answer. So what is happening here? Let's identify this model. What is the idea behind this model? It's not very apparent what exactly is happening. So for example, this theta is coming here and this power is coming to bottom and the beta is coming over here. The other 2 symbols are not changed. Then what is happening? Beta and the power are not changed, but this theta is coming here. The gamma is coming here and the alpha is going here. So one change is left diagonal has been changed. In the second figure, the right diagonal has been changed. So that's how you got this. And by changing the right diagonal, you got the third figure. Now let's look at what is happening from third to fourth. If you're going from third to fourth, to get this, you are bringing this here. Beta is coming here, gamma is coming here, so alpha and theta are not changed. So basically here it is changing of diagonals, but the changing of diagonal is cyclical order. First left diagonal is changed, then right diagonal, then again left diagonal, then again now it should be the turn of right diagonal. Right diagonal, how is it changing? Please remember, alpha should come down because the diagonal changing is counterclockwise. It is in counterclockwise. So alpha should come down, beta should come down, theta should go up. So it should be theta, alpha, beta. Power and gamma should remain as it is. So where is this? This is there in your option A. So while the first 2 questions were easy, you'll notice that the third question, many of you gave the wrong answer in the first 20 seconds, 25 seconds. So this is one model. You should remember these models, okay? The figures can change, the symbols can change, but the model might be repeated, okay? So don't make this mistake. This is the option A. Right, let's go ahead. Option is A. Next question. Very simple. Please quickly, 20 seconds. Yes, Kevin, more people will join, obviously, right? Everybody wants to prepare in the last moment. Swagat, I will do it, but let's finish this first. Hi, Lakshman. I'm fine, Lakshman. Thank you for asking. Very good, guys. This is a simple one. If you observe carefully, you'll be getting the correct answer as option B. So if you notice, this is going up, this is coming down, and this is coming down. So cyclically, everything is changing. Going up, up to down, down to down. Again, cyclical. So it is cyclical rotation. Second thing you need to notice is the right side is becoming left, the right side is becoming left, the left side is becoming right. So the figure is also inverting. So if you look at it, the next figure should be, first the bottom one should go to the topmost and in the opposite direction. So it should be like this. Then this figure should be coming to the right hand side. So right hand side will become like this. And this figure should be coming down, which means it will be like this on the left hand side. That is going to be in option B. Hence, B is the correct answer. Simple. Take a look at this once again. Be careful. These simple questions, you might be in a hurry and you might end up making a mistake. That's the reason why I'm giving you only 20 seconds to make you solve fast and make sure that if you're making a mistake, you realize where the mistake is, so that you don't repeat these in your exam. Ria, counting figures is there in a later session. By the way, guys, please keep in mind, MAH CET will have 5 options. Please keep in mind, 5 options. Here we have given you only 4. But I hope that should not be a problem for you, because here the figure based, whether it's 4 options, 5 options, doesn't really matter. But please make sure in your MAH CET there are going to be 5 options. Okay? And okay, keep one thing. So a lot of you have asked me for a free MAH CET mock. So the upcoming mock, I think it's going to be released tomorrow or day after tomorrow. It is going to be free for all. So those of you who have not yet downloaded our BYJU'S Exam Prep app, please download it, because the free MAH CET will be available only on the app. So if those of you who have not yet downloaded the app, please download it. Also, please give me a like on this session right now, guys. I need likes as well as subscription. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. A lot of questions are going to come your way in the next few weeks. Okay? Yes, Swagat, the cutoff was a bit low last year. I think around 100 or 105, something like that. Again, depending upon which college you're looking at. Anyway, so A has been turned clockwise, then another clockwise, then another clockwise, it will become this. So clearly B and D are gone. Then if you notice, this is coming here, then this is coming here, then this should come here, which means the arrow should be on the top. Okay, my arrow went for a toss. So this is correct, this is wrong. So the correct answer is option C. Tanvi, jumbled or section-wise paper? Not really sure, Tanvi. I think I can expect a normal paper only. Jumbled, if it comes, at least the RC should come together, a puzzle should come together. If they are jumbling up the puzzles also and RC also, then that's a very big nightmare. Last year, even the puzzles and the RCs were jumbled up. That was really difficult for students, because when you solve a puzzle, you want all questions to come one after the other, but one question comes here, then you have to keep searching where are the other questions. That becomes a problem. Okay? Pranjal, it's the only one free, yes, but it will be available for some time. Okay, so it's not only for tomorrow. It will be released tomorrow, which means you can download it or you can write it the next 2-3 days. Okay, all right, let's move ahead. Very easy question, 20 seconds. What is the answer? Stebin Nada, that's what I'm saying. They could be jumbled up because last year or last before year it was jumbled up. Okay. You cannot do the mock on PC, guys. It can be done only on the app. So please download the app. Okay, so the correct answer happens to be D. So this is vertical, then this is horizontal, then again vertical, rotated counterclockwise. So this will again be in this fashion. So up, so it should be like this. So it should be a dark circle and a white circle. So clearly this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. There's only one option. Straight away you got your answer. Simple one. Okay. Okay, let's move on to analogies. I already explained the logic behind analogies, what happens. So I'm not going to read up all of this. It's the same thing that I've already explained. So let's go ahead and take a look at few questions. Okay. The first question, very simple. Give me an answer in about 20 seconds. Jay Gandhi, the tech team would have already done that. Yes, Hemant, this is easy. See, certain topics are easy, certain topics are difficult. Okay, so what is the answer here? So if you notice, triangle and square, then the up, so up and let's say low. So what happens in the second figure? The analogy is, in the square you have a triangle and inside both of them you have a pentagon. So the outside figure, so the lower figure is coming outside and the upper figure is going inside, and between them both you are getting a new figure. A new figure which has low plus one side. How many ever sides were there in the lower figure? You have one extra side in the final central figure. Which means I should have in the final answer, my lower figure should be outside, which means my pentagon should be outside. And the upper figure should be inside. So upper figure is a square, should be inside. And I should have a new figure which will have one more side than the lower figure. Lower figure is a pentagon, one more side means 6 sides. So I should have a hexagon inside. So that basically happens in your option B. There's only one figure with hexagon inside, which is your option B. How much time should be given to abstract if it comes in section wise? Abstract entire 25 questions, I would say probably around 12 to 13 minutes. That is the reason why we are doing it very quickly. If you notice, 30 seconds per question, 25 questions, 13, max 15 minutes. That's it. You should not spend more time than this. Varad, you're asking as if I'm making the CET paper. I don't know, my friend, whether it will be easy or difficult. How can I say that? Okay. I will not claim to say that I have inside knowledge. I don't. Frankly, I don't even know who's making the question paper. So I will not randomly say it's going to be easy, it's going to be difficult. Be prepared for whatever it is. Nobody can predict. Yes, Jay Gandhi, that is perfect. That's the reason why all my questions, I keep giving you only 20-25 seconds, not more than that. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This is a simple one, but let's see how many of you get it right. 15 seconds, you should be able to get this. Hemant, 19 CTs, if you're looking at the top 3-4 colleges, might not be a good score. Om Kene, I have already done my MBA, so I don't worry, I will not be applying to JBIMS. Okay, so let's take a look at what is happening here. You have 3 lines inside and gave you a triangle. So how many lines are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. 5 lines should give me a pentagon. So the answer should be option C. That is the logic here. Okay, let's move on. Next question. 20 seconds. No, Jay Gandhi, I am not an alumni of JB. I am Indore. Interesting. Many of you are giving the wrong answer. In fact, C is not correct. Let's take a look at what is happening here. Okay. So you have first a triangle and a rhombus. Okay. Triangle and a square, whatever. Now the second figure is a square and a triangle. So if you notice, this outside figure has gone inside and the inside figure has come outside. And it's not just inside outside. There is a difference in the orientation also. So the outside figure, so inside figure is inverted. Outside inside is inverted. Whereas the inside figure, so this basically is inverted. The triangle became inverted. Whereas the inside figure, it just rotated by 45 degrees. It just rotated by 45 degrees, right? So what you need is when you have a outside figure like this and an inside pentagon, then please remember outside should first go inside. So inside should be a square or a rhombus and the outside should be your pentagon. But what is the orientation of the pentagon? The outside figure now should be rotated by 45 degrees. So this inside whatever is there should be rotated by 45 degrees out. So basically if I rotate this 45 degrees, I will get a figure like this. And the inside figure, this figure which is outside, when it is coming inside, it will be flipped, it will be inverted. But a diamond, if you invert, it will still remain the same. A rhombus when you invert will remain the same. So you will get a figure like this, which is the same figure. Because the orientation here doesn't change inside. So the correct answer is option D. Okay, the correct answer is option D. So many of you got this wrong. As I said, simple looking question, you will end up making a mistake. Pragya is asking how third came from second. Third will not come from second, Pragya. This is not a series. This is analogy. Analogy means these two are related. In the same way, these two should be related. These two are not related. 2 and 3 are not related. Please keep in mind. Clear, Pragya? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so this is one question where many of you made a mistake. That's fine. Let's move on to the next question. Again, very simple one. Give me an answer quickly. 20 seconds. Anush, why not B for which one? The previous one? I'll show you why not B. Let me go back, but let me finish this first, then we'll go back. Okay, it's a very simple one. So you have one circle and this is becoming 2 circles and you have 2 lines. You are putting the two lines but erasing in between, erased. Similarly, if you have a block that is a square and two diagonals, the one square will become two squares, right? The one square will become two squares, square number 1, square number 2, and you'll get like this. Inside should be erased. That is there in your option A. Okay, so somebody was asking in the previous question, why not B? So if you notice, in B, this orientation is correct, but this is wrong. Remember, this should remain like this, because when you flip it, it will remain the same. But here it is, so this is what you have here. So this is changed, rotated. That is wrong. Is that clear? I think one of you are asking why is B incorrect. I think Durgesh is also asking. I hope this is clear now, Durgesh. Okay? Right, question number 10 is done. Okay, the next topic we are going to look at is odd one out. Okay, now I already explained the logic of odd one out. You have to look at all the figures. There is no pattern or sequence per se, or it could be a sequence also. The idea is 4 of them are connected in some way. 4 of them are connected in some way. One is not connected in the same way. Which one is it? Okay, Bharat is asking in question 10, why not B? Let me see question 10. Question 10, why not B? Okay, what is wrong with B? This is the shape. This is a rectangle. This is a square. That is the difference. Okay? You have a square, this is a square. So square will give you a square. Clear? Shubham and I think Bharat. So A and B are confusing. The only reason is because you have a square. See guys, okay, this is a nice question that you guys, one of you have asked, but it's a good thing that you asked. So it will happen where there will be two similar figures, everything is same except the shape. In such a case, the shape matters. The shape matters. So if you have a square, your answer should also be a square. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so let's take a look at odd one out. These are very, very simple ones. 10 seconds, give me the answer to this. Kushal, I have absolutely no idea, my friend. You are asking me questions as if I have seen the paper beforehand. I have no idea here. How can anybody predict? Why should anybody be able to know that? See guys, I'm being very honest with you. If I know something, I'll tell you I know. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. So anybody says that I'm expecting this, there's no logic, there's no reason why it should be like that unless they've announced it. They did not announce it. Anyway, the correct answer is D. Always the line is inside, whereas here the line is outside. Simple. Okay. Next question. Okay, this is a nice one. It's a simple one. Ritik, try to get above 105 or so. 100 or 105 should be a good enough score for your SIDNAM. Okay, 12th has mixed responses, A, D. Let us see what is the logic here. Here a corner is being cut. Corner has been cut. Corner has been cut. Here it's not a corner. That is the logic. So this is the odd one out. Okay. Ria, if you want to get into the top 4 colleges, 95 percentile might not be good enough. Tushar, I'm doing very good, my friend. Thank you for asking. Vaishnavi, to get into JBMS, you need to have a 99.9 and above. Okay, so what's the answer to this? I think we are left with only 1 or 2 questions, my friends. We'll quickly do this and I think you can have a good night's sleep. Okay, many of you have given the answer. The correct answer, let us see what is happening here. You have two arrows. So here two arrows and three dots. You have a triangle. Here you have a square, three arrows, four dots. Here you have pentagon, four arrows and five dots. And here you have a septagon. Then you have what do you have? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arrows and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 dots. You have 6 dots. Okay? Right, so what is happening here? You have three-sided figure. So 2 arrows and 3 dots. Here you have square, 4-sided figure, 1 less number of arrows, same number of dots. Pentagon, 5-sided figure, 1 less arrow and 5 dots. Here septagon, 1 less arrows, which is perfect, but the number of dots should have been 7 dots, but we have only 6 dots. Therefore the correct answer is option D. Okay, so Ruchika is saying there is no square in B. Okay, let me. Okay. There should have been a square like this, one more square. Okay, so I think this square and this square, if you say are same, then there should be one more square. Okay. Well, technically, those of you who've given B is also correct, guys. Yeah, B also is correct technically because there's a small error in this PPT actually because of the square. Yeah. I get it. Many of you who've got, don't feel offended, guys. That's okay. Mistakes do happen once in a while. Those of you who gave B, technically you are right. Okay. Yeah, I understand, Sushmita. It could be B also. Right? Let's move on. Okay. Next question. This is a simple one. This is done. In fact, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you'll get the answer. The answer is B. You can see all, in fact, they are identical. All three are identical. There is only one where the triangle is facing downwards. Over. Yes, some questions like this will come. Marks for everyone. Yeah. Okay. I think this is the last question for the day. Let's see if you can get the answer. It's a very simple one. Very simple question. Yeah, B is happy, other figures are sad. Jay Gandhi, not every question will be easy. As I said, one random question I put easy just because, you know, you should be able to, I don't want to unnecessarily send you to sleep thinking of a nightmare. So last one question I put very easy, last 1 or 2 questions I put dead easy. So that's the reason why that smiley face came up. It was a deliberate ploy from my side. Not that that level of questions will come. I deliberately put it, if you notice, it's a smiley face, right? All right. I hope you get the logic. Okay, so what's the answer here? The correct answer is C, because you have 2 stars and a circle, 2 of these figures, rhombuses and a triangle, 2 ellipses. In fact, this is actually okay. If you observe the figure carefully, it could be D or C both. It could be C or D both, guys. Okay, it could be C or D both. The reason is this is an ellipse and this is a circle. So you have 2 repeat. You have these 2 repeat. You have these 2 repeat. So here there is no repeat. Hence this could be the answer. Or in fact C will not be. C will not be the answer. The correct answer has to be D only. because these two are repeated, these are rectangles. These are rectangles. And you have a square. So technically 2 rectangles and 1 square. So a repeat of rectangle and a square, which is different. Whereas option D does not have a repeat. That is the reason why the correct answer is D. In fact, C will not be the answer. Because C you have a repeat and there is no problem because repeat is a rectangle, the other figure is a square. Okay? Alright my friends, so that brings us to the end of the topic right now. I hope you guys have been able to solve quite a few of the questions. So please practice these. Same size figures, yes, more or less they are same size, I believe. No, this is not same size. This is slightly bigger, guys. This is not same size, this is slightly smaller. Again, this is small, this is big. Here also you have small, you have big. So A, B, C are all similar in nature. You have 2 repeated shapes, 1 small, 1 big, and the third shape is different. Similarly, that is what happening in A, B and C, whereas D, that's not happening. Okay? Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. See you in the next one. Have a good night.